Every summer Saturday, we rigged the historical 18-footer replica Britannia to sail with the fleet of up to 11 boats at the Sydney Flying Squadron, Sydney's oldest open boat club. It's been another big season with 27 races. Some days were quite relaxing. Some days were not. It was a season with plenty of fresh breezes, quite a few in 20 to 25 knots and one of 35 to 40 knots. But there were many lighter days as well, but not many under 12 knots or so. We only rigged our number one light weather rig twice in the whole season. We had only one drifter, and that was only because a mark was laid too close to land. Sometimes the fleet was spread out. Sometimes the racing was close.
Start to move up now.
Sometimes we had stretches of the harbour to ourselves. But more often it was congested. But one of the weirdest things was in the middle of a bad drought, we had several races in the rain. Of course, we went up to the Balmain Regatta in October, and Britannia, Yendies and Top Weight went to the Australian Wooden Boat Festival in Hobart. What a great festival. The breezes were fresh and gusty there every day. I know why 18-footers never took off down there.
Bit more main when you can.
Yep.
The most exciting day was in late March when a light nor'wester turned into a howling sou'wester of 30 to 35 knots. Fort Denison even recorded a gust of 42 knots. With a breeze of 15 knots at the top mark, we set the masthead spinnaker and the ringtail. It built to 25 knots when we struck the ringtail and 30 knots at the bottom mark.
Come on, get it out, guys! Get ready to go to the whale. It's ready.
guy in the blue shirt is Corf from the new TV show Boating Down Under. He had 2 GoPros on him and 3 other cameras on chase boats. He'll have some great footage to show later in the year. It continued to build, and by the second run it had hit 35 knots. We hit a speed record for us of 9.38 knots over 7 seconds by GPS watch. Not bad for a displacement boat with a theoretical hull speed of just under 6 knots. But it didn't end well. Only one boat finished that day, the rest either swam or pulled out. There's always a few swims. This is top weight, but the Atlantis Trophy for the most swims was won this year by Al Ruth with 4 swims, but unrecorded on film. A feature for us was that top weight tried to get real close to us on several occasions.
Back him.
Watch your way, guys. Enough of that, Mr. Robertson. You guys got any lollies?
It's good enough for Wild Oats, it's good enough for you, eh, Robbo? Port!
A port start usually isn't wise.
On now.
2, 1.
Now! Let's go!
Yeah.
Starboard!
Starboard!
Tacking. Protest.
Come on, get up.
Watch where you're going.
But sometimes you can get away with it. Not all starts are congested. Most of our starts are staggered. Boats take their handicap at the start. And this has been the tradition since 1891.
Hold on and swing the next one.
Now!
Right, swing! Help him on the boat.
Let's go.
This season there's usually been several boats on the handicap limit of 15. Only the 3 heats of the Australian Championship and the 3 heats of the Club Championship see the whole fleet start together. On March the 2nd, the harbour was treated to the rare sight of 2019 modern 18-footers and the historical fleet out on the same day in a heat of the Gildenham, the Moderns World Championship. They normally race on Sundays, we race on Saturdays. The Moderns are definitely faster, but on 19th of January we proved that 1919 boats could plane. This burst in 25 knots of breeze with third rig went for 35 to 40 seconds. Unfortunately, my GPS watch was not recording, but this felt like the fastest we'd ever gone. Britannia won no races this season, But we did win the Ferguson Ringtail Cup for the 4th year in a row by setting a ringtail more often than anybody else. Fergie would have been proud of us. I put up this shot of us by Adrian Jackson on February the 2nd on Facebook, and somebody commented that it was photoshopped. It was not. This is the big rig with ringtail. This is the second rig with ringtail. Aberdare won back the Australian title that he lost to Harold Cudmore and Yendes last season. It might have been different, but Yendes broke their mast in the first heat of 3 with no discards, so they were out of it. Yendes had a bad year for breakages, winning the Broken Wing Trophy for the most DNFs due to gear failure with 5, a new record. But they won a lot of the races that they did manage to finish. Scot won the club championship. The favourite Aberdare was out of it by breaking a mast in the first heat. Australia 4 won the Australia Day Regatta on both scratch and handicap. Aberdare won the season point score and the fastest times point score. Every race day we pack them away, but now the boats are packed away for the winter and will emerge again in October. And in November it will be 100 years since the original Britannia hit the water, and there's big celebrations planned. You can join us every summer Saturday on the Spectator Ferry.
That's a high